Now, Storm Team 4 with Central Ohio's most accurate forecast.
Good evening. Weather alert day in our area, and now we've got a newly issued tornado warning that is in effect for portions of Madison County, also in northern Union southern Union County and northern Madison County. It's for this part of the cell right here. Again, tornado warning. So if you are in these areas, if you are near Marysville, you need to get to your safe spot right now. You are not technically in Marysville under the tornado warning, but you notice as we zoom in right to this part of the cell right here, Marysville's just off towards the immediate east of this tornado warned cell. You can see this just to the north of Urbana right here. We've got that little bit of a hook showing up here south of Bell Fountain, just off towards the east of US 68, and that's going to continue to move into portions of Union County. So again, if we can click on right here, Liz, showing the tornado warning box that we've got in portions of southern Logan County, just south of Bell Fountain. If you are in Bell Fountain, you are not under this tornado warned cell right here. You notice it is Champaign County, also into portions of Union County, and northwest corner, the far extreme northwest corner of Madison County are under this tornado warning until 7:15 this evening. Notice down the line also, if you are in London or in Madison County near the Madison-Clark County line, you need to get to your safe spot as well. You notice the purple shading here on this cell right here from just north of Springfield, south of Urbana. This cell has had a confirmed tornado with it, and debris has been showing up on the radar as this cell continues to push off towards the east at about 30 miles per hour. So this is a dangerous cell. You can see here as we're looking at the storm winds right here, you can see that very tightly packed couplet right there showing up just north of Springfield, and that's where we're seeing that rotation with this cell north of I-70 and US 40, and that's going to continue to move towards the east. So again, if you are in London, if you are in West Jeff, this is a cell that you will need to be concerned about and keep a very close eye on. You've got a little bit of time right now in Madison County to get prepared for this cell as it continues to move towards the east at about 30 miles per hour. Again, notice this cell moving in portions of Champaign County, south of Bell Fountain right now. That's going to continue to move into portions of Madison and Union counties, especially the southern half of Union County. So if you are in Marysville, you need to get to that safe spot right now. You want to make sure that you're prepared for this cell. Getting to that safe spot, we talk about this often during severe weather season. That is the lowest point of your house. If you can get to a basement, if you can get down to, if you do not have a basement, you want to get to that innermost room of your house. So an inside closet, bathroom, one that has as many doors or walls between you and the outside of the house as possible, as this cell is going to be coming in from the west this evening and moving off towards the east. So you want to get as much as you can, and you room preferably that does not have windows facing towards the west or to the outside of the house. That is the safest room that you want to get into. A lot of times that'll be an interior bathroom in a house, might be your safe spot. But again, these cells have had a history of producing some gusty winds. We've seen rotation showing up right now. You can see this. If we could zoom in a little bit closer to this northern cell right here, just south of Bell Fountain and north of Urbana, you can see where that rotation is showing up about 6 miles to the southeast of West Liberty right now and moving towards North Lewisburg. So that's going to continue to move its way into portions of Union County and the northern portion of Madison County. I think we're going to have more of a gusty wind event near Mechanicsburg with this cell. But again, these are some of the stronger cells. If we zoom out a little bit and put radar back on, I want to go through a couple of other things that we are watching very closely this afternoon heading into this evening, because you notice we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings also in effect for portions of our area. Over in Muskingum County, we've got another one in Fairfield and Perry counties, and another in northern Ross County moving into the Hocking Hills. All of these cells, we've had a history of producing some hail. It looks like on radar they could produce upwards of 1-inch diameter or larger hail, so quarter-sized hail or larger. Also, you can see a lot of lightning associated with each one of these supercells, and some gusty winds are going to be a concern to the south and east of the city. We've got more rain falling here in downtown Columbus right now, with some heavier rain up into northern portions of Delaware County. But again, the strongest cells, these two cells right here off towards our immediate west, we are watching those very closely because those cells are going to be the strongest ones and the most dangerous potential cells as we head in towards the next couple of minutes. And I'm getting an indication mention right now that we have a newly issued tornado warning that is now in effect also for Fayette County. So if we could go down into that area, yes, you notice just south of Washington Courthouse, this cell right here in the southern corner of Fayette County, that is a newly issued tornado warning as well. For this cell, that has been moving away from the Xenia area. You can see near Wilmington, we've got this line moving away, and this is right where the radar site is here. So again, this does not include in Fayette County. If you're hearing the sirens going off right now in Washington Courthouse, you are not, or in Jeffersonville, you are not in the tornado warned area. However, you may be seeing the darkening of the skies in this area in Fayette County right now. This cell is going to continue to slide off towards the east, southeast it appears, at about 30 miles per hour. May also have some smaller hail with that, just under quarter size, so about nickel-sized hail possible with that cell as it continues to push down towards the south and east at about 35 miles per hour. So again, in the southern portion of Fayette County, if this is extended out, this would continue to push it over towards Ross County. As I mentioned, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings just north of Chillicothe in Ross County, just south of Circleville in Pickaway County as well, and that's going to continue to push towards 7:15 tonight. So we're seeing a lot of these cells developing with some possibility of strong winds. When we talk about strong winds, even outside of any of these tornado warned cells, we could have upwards of 60-mile-per-hour winds that we're looking at, and also the possibility of some large hail, especially at these cells south and east of the city, upwards of about a quarter size. If we could put on the threat detector here for a minute, Liz, and take off the lightning just to kind of declutter this a bit. Everywhere that we see all this purple, thank you very much. Everywhere we see this light purple colors, that's where we're seeing anywhere from about pea to penny sized hail. So you see that in Ross County here, that tornado warned cell moving into Fayette County, showing upwards of maybe about 1-inch diameter hail. And then these cells just north of Lancaster, this one's been kind of pulsing up and down at 1+ inch diameter hail with this. Again, that might be a little bit more elevated, but still a concern as that moves towards the Buckeye Lake area. Another one just south of Zanesville going towards Blue Rock, and that eventually will move over towards Guernsey County as well. And then the tornado warned cells, if we could zoom in on this one just south of Logan County right there, you'll notice a little red coloring showing up here, a little bit of a shear marker. There's actually 2 of those showing up with each one of these tornado warned cells, and that's where we're showing the potential of that rotation. So if we could measure out from here to Marysville, Liz, for me, and show you how far away you guys are in Marysville right now from this cell. Again, you're not under the tornado warning in Marysville, but that is going to take about 25-ish minutes. So we're looking, or I'm sorry, miles. So we're looking at about 45 to 50 minutes away from Marysville, which would put us at about 7:35 to 7:40 tonight if this cell does hold together. If we could turn back on the radar, we'll show you what this looks like on radar. And again, you can see this little hook right here. That's going to continue to slide off towards the east at about 30 to 35. Down to the south, this cell north of, it's kind of moving away from Springfield right now. That is going to be of a concern for folks in Madison County. I know right now in Madison County, technically you're not under a tornado warning. We're going to have to watch this cell very closely because even if it's not tornado warned, it still has had a history of some rotation with it. And you notice the purple shading here showing that we've had a confirmed tornado with this cell just a little while ago. Some debris signatures showing up, meaning that there was debris showing up on radar in the clouds from this cell producing a tornado earlier. So that is going to be moving into Madison County, basically right along I-70. So if you are listening right now or you're watching in your car and you're driving along 70, you may want to find a safe spot to pull off the road, especially if you're traveling west towards Dayton, because this is going to be a dangerous cell as that continues to move off towards the east at about 30 to 35 miles an hour. I'm going to hand it off to Ben Gelber for just a second. And Ben, we are continuing to watch these cells moving across our area this afternoon into this evening, and some of them have had a history of being pretty strong through the day.
Yeah, Dave, we've already had several confirmed tornadoes in the Dayton area, both north and south. And I'm putting a tracker on. You can see the tornado warning for 7:15, including Union and Madison counties. The rotation, which is in northeastern Champaign County, I'll show you that in just a second, we'll put the storm near Marysville, the core, around 7:15. Now you can see where red and green come together. That's getting ready to move into southwestern Union County. So that's one area of concern. You can see a second area where red and green are coming together, and that would be off to the south of, and we've been tracking that storm that had debris. In other words, a tornado on the ground east of Springfield. So that's going to head into western portions of Madison County. And then Dave also mentioned the storm system, which is down farther to the south in Fayette County. Again, you can see kind of a mixed red and green there, but definitely two areas of tight rotation. And let me put back to our usual radar vantage point. This line is about 30 miles to the northwest and west-northwest of Columbus. Two tornado warnings, one just to the west of Madison County and one into the northwest corner of Madison County. And you can see also some very strong winds on the back edge here, over 58 miles per hour. So that's where we're having some very strong outflow, but also the colors coming together are of concern, and also hail too. So let's go back to local radar. Dave also mentioned these storms around Buckeye Lake, Somerset, and also Zanesville and Crooksville all have warnings, and they go to different times. So from Muskingum County until 7:15, we have thunderstorm warnings for Perry County, as well as for Fairfield County until 7:30. And because these storms have had a history of spin, at least over the western part of the state, all must be treated as potential tornado warnings. Again, the current tornado warning is until 7:15, and that includes southwestern portions just to the southwest of Marysville of Union County, northeastern Champaign County, and then down to the south in Clark County, and farther down the line to the east of Wilmington. That's heading into southwestern Fayette County until 7:15. All part of the same system that we know has a history of producing several tornadoes in the Dayton area. And as we come back out to the Columbus metro, while we're okay now, we're going to have to track those storms as they continue to work their way off to the northeast. So Dave, we're going to continue to watch what is a volatile situation with several cells that continue to spin. Yeah, and again, this evening, if you've been watching us for the last couple of hours, we have been continuing to track more and more of these showers and thunderstorms. Most of our area is still under a tornado watch, meaning conditions, as we have seen over the last few minutes, are primed for seeing some of these cells showing some rotation. So you notice right now we've got 3 active tornado warnings that we are watching, and most of them are on our far western fringe of our area, with most of the area south and southeast of Columbus under severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Again, just because we are seeing severe thunderstorm warnings does not mean that these winds cannot be very strong with some of these thunderstorms. We've had a couple of reports of some wind damage near Lancaster right now. This is a very strong thunderstorm here. So treat any of these flashing boxes as they are strong, and you want to make sure that you stay indoors and away from windows. If you are going to be outside, try to get everyone indoors as quickly as possible with any of these severe thunderstorm warned cells. But again, we are watching now as this cell, the northern one, starting to make its way right on the corner of Champaign County over towards Union County. So again, this is a tornado warned cell till 7:15. If we could zoom in closer on this one right here near Marysville, and that cell is going to be a particularly dangerous one that we're watching as well. This is radar indicated rotation with this, but it is not far from Marysville as of right now. Rotation is broadened out just a touch here, but again, this is moving off towards the east at about 30 miles per hour. So that's going to bring it in towards the Marysville area rather shortly. Again, if you're in this area near Marysville, anywhere around town, just to the west of town, you need to get to your safe spot immediately. We're talking lowest points of the house. If you've got a basement, that is ideal. If you do not have a basement, the next spot that you want to head towards is that innermost room of the house. If you can, you want to maybe go to an inside bathroom, closet, something that does not have walls, preferably to the outside of the house, especially no windows. You want something inside. That's what we talk about. Closets, bathrooms, something like that to get to that safe spot. Tornado warning again is in effect until 7:15. This is for western Union County. Does not at this moment include the city of Marysville. But again, I am telling you right now, if you are in Marysville, you need to get to that safe spot right now and be prepared, because the cell is moving quickly and it is not far from your backyard right now. Down the line, if you are in Madison County near London, this is a cell. If we could switch back over to radar, we're watching right here, not too far away from the county line now, moving in towards Madison County. And again, you see the purple shading here. This is because this has had a cell that has had an observed tornado showing up with it. So not only have we seen the rotation on radar, but it has been observed with some debris showing up on radar as well. And this is moving just to the north of London. We're going to be watching this area very closely, because this is going to continue to push along 70 and US 40 towards West Jeff. And this is going to be another cell that has had
bit of history, while it doesn't look all that impressive, like as a big giant cell with tons of lightning, you can see that little bit of a hook there showing up on radar. And we saw that on the wind scans as well, that we saw that in and out motion, or the couplet showing up on the winds that had been tightening at times through the last couple of frames. So that's something that we're watching for very closely. If you are in Madison County, I think if you're in London at this point, this cell should stay just to the north of London. You should not put your guard down yet, though. If you are in this area near London, you want to make sure that you stay in your safe spot as well, because at minimum, outflow winds could be very strong coming out of this thunderstorm as it continues to push off towards the east this evening. So as we go back, we're at the top of the hour now at 7 o'clock. I'm going to zoom back out for a minute here on radar. We are at 7:02 this evening, and you notice we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings across our area. We've got newly issued severe thunderstorm warnings well off towards the east in Morgan County. We've got additional thunderstorm warnings in effect for portions of Muskingum, Perry, Fairfield counties, as well as Ross County this evening. And then we've got additional tornado warnings that are in effect until 7:15 this evening. We've got 3 of them right now, one for Madison and Northern Union County, Southern Union County, Northern Madison County, that one that we've been watching heading towards Marysville. We've got another cell that's heading towards Madison County right now, just north of London. That tornado warning does expire at 7:15, and then an additional tornado warning in Southern Fayette County, and that extends until 7:15, which in that case, if you are in Ross County, far western portions of Ross County, northwest Pike County, you need to keep your eyes peeled on this one as well, because this cell is going to be dangerous, and that is going to continue to slide off towards the east-southeast and will be into portions of Ross and Pike counties as we head in towards about 7:30 to 7:45 this evening. And that could also be a dangerous cell that we are watching this evening. So a lot of activity around the area, and I'm going to toss back to Ben Gelber for a minute. Ben, we've been watching that cell in Madison County moving towards London and West Jeff. That one could be of concern as well over the next few minutes.
Yeah, Dave, and really both storms continue to spin. We've checked with the National Weather Service, and they're obviously holding on to the tornado warnings until at least 7:15. That doesn't mean the threat ends there. We're going to have to see where we are in 10 minutes. Now, what is really helpful is looking at where red and green come together, because that, at least our technology can show exactly where the rotation is, and you can see that still to the west of Marysville. Notice I've keyed in on Marysville 709, Ostrander 726. This portion of the storm right in here continues to spin very clearly. Now we also have rotation down to the south, so let me show you that warning as well. That is, as we get down toward the London area, at least until 7:15, we have a tornado warning in effect. And farther south, so this would be, you can see right here, this cell continues to have some spin just to the north of London. So there are 2 areas that continue to be problematic. And let me go back out to our radar, as you're probably more used to seeing. And here's another look at the storms as they move in. We're going to switch sources back to WG3 so you can see the county lines a little more clearly. But very evident that we do have quite a bit of activity moving through central Ohio. So let me get some of those warnings back on the screen for you.
You're good on 5 again. You can go back to 5.
Okay. Upstairs. Great, thanks, Dave. Again, here are the warnings. So let's go around. Let's start to the west with the storm out by Marysville, and that would be for Union County until 7:15. For northwestern Madison County until 7:15. The storm has exited Champaign County, and that tells us if we go to velocity mode, you can see the red and green starting to open up a little bit. West of Marysville, obviously a good sign that the rotation is not quite as intense as it has been. But either way, we have a cell tracking at about 35 miles per hour. So Marysville 7:15, Ostrander around 7:29. Let's go back to radar again, as you're used to seeing it. These storms are moving along at such a quick clip that we have to keep moving the tracker. This cell that has already entered Madison County has weakened, but that would put it in the vicinity of Hilliard around 7:30. Plain City a little bit sooner than that. Let me clear that and create yet another tracker because the back edge of the storm coming into northwestern Madison County definitely showed the strongest rotation. So that would be right here. here. So if we put a tracker on about 35 miles per hour on the southern edge, that would be just moving into Galloway and West Jefferson. So these storms, at least for the moment, have tornado warnings until 7:15. We have a slew of thunderstorm warnings off to the southeast. Also, in any one of these storms, capable of producing damaging winds heading into Muskingum County, in Perry County, around Somerset. And you can see Perry County thunderstorm warning until 7:45. That's got quite a hail core. Somerset at 7:17, moving northeast, and Fairfield County until 7:45. I want to take a closer look at this storm because it is showing quite a bit of hail. In fact, large hail indicated now out by Rushville. So let me clear that quickly for you. And right here is where the 1.5 inch diameter, we're getting into golf ball size hail potential for the storm in Perry County. So that again is near Somerset. We can put a tracker on that. And Dave, that is the southern portion of those storms.
If we can go back over to WG3 for a second there, Corey. We have a newly issued tornado warning that has been issued. This does include Union County. This does include Delaware County. This is the same cell that we've been watching right now near Union County, near Marysville. Again, if you are in this area, newly issued tornado warning now. So for folks tuning in right now, on air, online, we are brand new tornado warning that is in effect. This does now include the communities Ostrander, Marysville, Delaware. This does continue all the way over towards Delaware City and Delaware County. Newly issued tornado warning, and it is for this part of the cell that is right near Marysville at this time. This tornado warning continues until 7:30 this evening for this area. Also, in addition to that, we are looking at additional tornado warnings down towards the south as well. But first, I want to go through this one that we've got near Marysville. So we're watching right near the Marysville area. This is going to be a concern. So again, we have been tracking this very closely. If you are in Marysville, Ostrander, Delaware, if you're in portions of southern Union County, western portions of Delaware County, you need to be in that safe spot right now. If you have friends or family that are maybe out and about, not watching the weather right now, maybe out on a tractor, whatever they might be, give them a call, give them a holler, let them know to get indoors right now. They need to get to that safe location. This has been another one of these cells that has been showing rotation on radar over the past hour or so. You notice it just outside of Marysville here, where we're seeing that rotation showing up here on radar. And that's going to continue to push to the east at about 30 to 35 miles per hour, actually moving at about 40 miles per hour right now. So a little bit quicker as that continues up US 36 from Marysville right over towards Delaware. If you are just south of this area, southern portions of Union County, southern portions of Delaware County, just near Powell, you are also under this tornado warning as well. In effect, until this will continue until 7:30 this evening. A couple of things to be concerned about. We could have some small hail with this, gusty winds, frequent lightning, and heavy rainfall. So when you see it starting to come, the sky's getting darker, it may be difficult to see any rotation if you're looking off towards the west. Always a bad idea. You want to make sure that you get to that safe spot. Again, I cannot tell you this enough times. Safe spot, lowest level of the house, basement, innermost room if you don't have a basement, a closet, a bathroom, something that does not have windows to the outside of the house. You want to put as many walls between you and the outer part of that house as possible. Some of these cells that have been moving from the western portion of the state over the last 60 to 90 minutes have had a history of producing tornadoes around the Dayton area earlier this afternoon into this evening. So again, these are dangerous cells. You notice this one moving in towards Madison County. It's actually in Madison County right now. That had tornado warned cells earlier for rotation that was showing up and debris. That's continuing to move north of London right now near Plain City. So we're keeping an eye on that cell as well. You notice though, again, tornado warnings in effect, Delaware, Union counties until 7:30 tonight. As we zoom out a little bit, you notice we've got general showers and thunderstorms around the city. We've got an additional tornado warning that's down towards the south right now. That is for southern Fayette County, and that extends until 7:15 this evening. And Liz, if we could zoom out a minute, because I want to look at that other cell further to the southwest part of the state right now, a little bit further south and west for that cell that's coming into Pike County. Pike County, you are not technically under a tornado warning right now, but you notice this strong cell down here, tornado warned cell for Highland County until 7:45. Extend this out. This is a big thunderstorm complex right here. Extend that out into Pike County, and that would be in at about 8 o'clock to 8:30 tonight in towards Piketon. So we're going to have to keep our eyes very closely on that thunderstorm as that continues to move in towards the southern part of our area this evening as well, and may have some strong thunderstorms moving into portions of Pike County as we head past the 8 o'clock hour tonight. So again, something we'll be watching very closely. That thunderstorm warning continues until 7:45 tonight. That storm's moving to the east at about 45 miles per hour. You notice it now has the observed tag showing up on it as well. So there's an observed tornado right in this area. Ben, have you been able to see anything on this? I'm seeing a confirmed tornado tag showing up on this cell, and that one's heading right in towards Pike County. Again, that's for the tornado warned cell until 7:45 in Highland County that we're watching. We've got another tornado warning near Union County, near Marysville right now, and that's also moving between Marysville and Delaware. So a couple of active tornado warnings and many severe thunderstorm warnings across our area that we're watching very closely. We've got one newly issued tornado warning right there too, Ben. Do you see that just from just north of Chillicothe? That is a brand new tornado warning for Hocking County, Pickaway County, Ross counties, and that will extend until 8 o'clock tonight. Again, down to the south, you can see that cell moving away from Chillicothe right now. We have a brand new tornado warning that is in effect, and that goes until 8 o'clock tonight. You can see right here, just north of Chillicothe. If we could zoom in a little bit closer here and put on the winds there for a minute there, Liz, we can see this cell as that continues to move off towards the east. That is our brand new tornado warning. South of town, this is moving southeast. It's located 8 miles southeast of Kingston, moving in towards the Hocking Hills. You can see a little bit of that rotation just to the south of Laurelville right now, showing hail size at about a ½ inch diameter and our tornado index at about a 2.8. We'll watch that number very closely. That number starts to go up. That could be a little bit more concerning again, but still tornado warned cell moving through the Hocking Hills. You can see that rotation south of Laurelville showing up here, and that's going to continue to move basically just north of the Vinton County line through southern Hocking County. This does extend across most of the southern half of Hocking County, including just barely the community of Logan. Laurelville, you are basically getting the strongest part of the cell starting to enter into your backyard right now. You need to also be in your safe location if you are in Laurelville. So as we move back out for a minute here, Liz, and show a wide shot of our entire area, I would like to give a little bit of a recap. If you are checking in right now, normally we're during our 7 o'clock newscast, we have weather coming up in just a few minutes. We are talking about the weather completely right now because we have multiple tornado warnings in our area, multiple counties, many severe thunderstorm warnings as well. So as we wrap this, as we start to go around the area, I want to show you, first one that we've got is up in Union County right now. Union, Delaware counties, tornado warning extending right here. You can see the cell is moving away from Marysville at this time, right along US 36, heading towards the city of Delaware in Delaware County. Tornado warning extends until 7:30 tonight for this area. At a minimum, gusty winds could be seen with this. Heavy rainfall. We could have lightning with this as well. This is going to be a dangerous cell as this continues to move into western portions of Delaware County and the city of Delaware. These are expiring tornado warnings in Clark and Champaign counties. Not as concerned with that right now because most of that activity has already moved off towards the east. Here in the city of Columbus, as of right now, I don't want to say we're in the clear, but we are in the less severe. We're just seeing general rain showers and a couple of rumbles of thunder right now. And then off towards the east and southeast, we are watching some strong thunderstorms north of New Lexington in Perry County. Severe thunderstorm warned cell right here. We've got severe thunderstorm warned cells in southern Muskingum County, moving into portions of Noble and Guernsey counties. And then we've got a newly issued tornado warning down towards the south right now. This does include the far southeast corner of Pickaway County, but most of the far eastern corner, northeast corner, I should say, of Ross County, and then moving into the southern half of Hocking County as well, and down into the Hocking Hills. I know this is a particularly dangerous area because of the hills, the tall trees down there. It'll be very difficult to see if something is coming over the hills. You need to be in that safe location right now. And in fact, you notice I just saw a minute ago we had a little rotation tracker showing up. If we could put the storm, yep, you can see it right there, Liz. Let's just put those back on for a minute there. And you can see that little rotation tracker showing up. If we could storm track that cell out, and it's moving pretty quickly to the east-southeast, so it is going to continue to ride basically along that Vinton County, Hocking County line and move in towards possibly Nelsonville and Athens after about 7:47 tonight with that cell. We've got this strong cell also in Perry County right here. You can see frequent lightning with that, possibility of some hail, and I would not be surprised. We're seeing a little bit of a hook showing up, very tiny right here, just south of, or just north of New Lexington. We will keep our eyes very closely on that cell as well. You notice south of Blue Rock here, we've got a little hail indication showing up here also right in this area. So some large hail may be moving into the southern portion of Guernsey County as we head through the next 15 to 20 minutes as well. But a lot of active weather across our area this evening. If you are tuning in with us right now, we are watching multiple tornado warnings across our area. If we could zoom back out to the entire area for a second, and we'll run down what we are looking at. To the north, we've got tornado warnings that are in effect for Union County, Delaware counties to the north. You notice we've got a newly issued severe thunderstorm warning here for Marion County, Morrow counties as well. That'll extend until 8 o'clock tonight. Gusty winds with this small hail, anywhere from about a dime to maybe nickel-sized hail with those thunderstorms. And then down to the south, now we don't have any counties currently down in Pike County is not currently under a tornado warning. I am watching a couple of things. This cell that we've got off towards the west, tornado warned cell, this is showing confirmed tornado showing up right now for Highland County, that tornado warning, until 7:45. This is not showing much of an indication of weakening right here. If we can look at the winds on this and kind of pick out where the actual tornado warning is in this area, Liz, and show you guys what we are watching very closely. And you can see right in this area here, you can see a little bit of that rotation showing up just south of US 62, between 62 and State Highway 32, and that's going to continue to move right in towards Pike County. So again, if you are in western portions of Pike County, you also need to be on alert as well this evening, because this is going to be a dangerous cell that is going to be moving into Pike County. And if it does hold together, which as of right now, indications are that this thing is going to keep its strength as it moves across Highland County. So that will be another dangerous cell. The last tornado warning we are watching locally is this one that's moving into the Hocking Hills region right now in the far northeast corners of Ross County. You see tons of lightning showing up with this as well. And you can see this rotation, this little hook feature right here, moving into the southern portion, it looks like, of Hocking County, the far southwest corner. Yep, look at this. Wow, look at that right there on radar. You can see that rotation showing up. How far is this from Laurelville? If we could put on that ruler feature for a second there, Liz, and just give folks at home an indication. So we're looking at about 6.5 to 7 miles to the south of Laurelville. We have got this rotation showing up right here, and that's going to continue to track off towards the east, right along that Vinton County, Hocking County line. So that is going to be a very, I would say at this point, this could look like one of the more dangerous cells that we've got across our area. And again, we have multiple tornado warnings right now, but this one is showing some pretty good rotation just south of Laurelville. Yeah, you look at that shear marker right there showing, if we can click on that, I think that's an 80-mile-an-hour shear marker that we're seeing at that point in southern Hocking County, just south of Laurelville. So again, if you have friends, family that are in that area, I know poor cell phone reception down in the Hocking Hills, try to get a hold of them. Make sure that they are in their safe spot right now. That is going to be a dangerous cell, as that will continue to move right along the county line. If you are in Star, for instance, over towards Nelsonville, this is going to be a cell you'll have to watch very closely for. I would, in fact, get to that safe spot and prepare right now to be in that safe location as that cell continues to push off towards the east-southeast at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. You notice our tornado index, we talked about this a couple minutes ago. This was at a 2.1. I mentioned if this number starts to go up, we really have to be concerned with this cell. It has gone up to a 3.8, so showing more of a likelihood of tornadic activity with this cell. You see the hail size at about a half-inch diameter, and the shear showing up at about 92 miles per hour now. And this is not terribly far away from the radar site, so we're getting this a lot closer to the ground where we're seeing this. So again, if you're in Vinton at 740 Zaleski, at 741 Star, showing at about 741, so you got about 20 minutes. Knox at 7 7:47 tonight. And Nelsonville, not technically under the tornado warning at this time, but very close to it, 7:49. You notice that tornado index number going up to nearly a 5 at this point, showing that rotation showing up with this cell. So again, if we could take that tracker off for just a second, I don't want to forget about everyone that's got other tornado warnings that we've got in our area, because we've still got a few more that we are watching. So we're going to zoom back out for a second. Still watching down to the south, this cluster right here. We're keeping a very close eye on that. Meteorologist Liz McGiffin has been watching all of these cells very closely. Meteorologist Ben Gelber also watching these cells. Ben, we are watching this cell right here up into Union and Delaware County. Have you noticed anything changing with that cell over the past couple of minutes?
Yeah, and Dave, some good news, the rotation is not nearly as strong. Now, we want to be clear that these can cycle back and forth. So we watch them from start to finish in Union and Delaware counties, where we have a tornado warning until 7:30. And we're watching also to see what the National Weather Service plans to do. But what I can do is show you where we have rotation. We look for red and green coming together. Remember, they were really tight. Well, now the red and green have separated a little bit. That's a good sign. But you can also see, by contrast, I'm going to take some of the lightning off so that doesn't get in the way, how red and green are much closer together in the storm in western Hocking County. And that's approaching the Nelsonville area in about another 30 to 45 minutes. And then you can also see a rotation to the north and east of Zanesville, where red and green come together. Let me put radar back on for you, as you're used to seeing it. So we've got multiple rotating thunderstorms extending from just south of Cambridge, eastern Muskingum County. That is a thunderstorm warned storm, but it's got rotation, and that could easily impact southwestern areas of Guernsey County. So that's just another one in a series of warnings we're watching closely. Here in the Hocking Hills, we can probably do a little bit of a zoom to show you where the tight rotation is. And that is right here at southeast of Laurelville. And that storm continues to work its way off to the east. Let me remove some of that for you so you can see we're in a bit of a rural area, but as you get along County Road 249, and again, it's important here to note that anywhere along this line, it's the tornado warning, of course, going to 8 o'clock. That would include South Bloomingville, Apple. This area is where there is strong rotation to the south and east of Laurelville. So that would, as Dave indicated earlier, start at 7:44. Let me slide this south. Knox at 7:50, Nelsonville at 7:52. All right, let's back up a little bit. And again, there's several rotating storms, even though these are thunderstorm warnings up by Somerset and heading into Guernsey County. These storms are also quite strong. The tornado warning also for Washington County would be to our southeast. And we also have a confirmed tornado near Belfast. So the thunderstorm warning for Adams County, and then the confirmed tornado warning for Highland County becomes a concern, because it is a confirmed tornado on the ground moving into western Pike County. Peebles around 7:46. So again, multiple storms. Let me come back to the north. Here's Columbus. We're kind of in the middle of the stronger storms, but not dealing, Dave, at least with the severe weather in the immediate area, but watching Union and Delaware County still, and a thunderstorm warning for Marion County.
Ben, real fast, sorry to interrupt, but that tornado warning that you were just mentioning, Delaware, Union County, that has been expired. That will be expiring 7:30, the tornado warning. However, you notice that most of this cell has been taken over by a severe thunderstorm warning. So I'm not saying go outside now, everything's in the clear. You still need to be aware if you're in this area. But again, the tornado warned cell not showing the rotation, as Ben was just mentioning a minute ago, that is kind of broadened out a bit. We're not seeing that same rotation, but still you could have wind damage inside of one of these cells. You could still have 50 to 60 plus mile-per-hour winds, also showing a little bit of small hail near Waldo, heading over towards Ashley this evening. If you're in that area of Delaware County along Highway 23, just north of Delaware, over by the Delaware State Park, you are under the severe thunderstorm warning. Another severe thunderstorm warning extends also into portions of Marion County, from Marion down to the south in Delaware. You can see as this line right here, I would expect at a minimum some pretty strong gusty winds from Delaware City up towards Marion and Marion County, and that's going to continue to push into Morrow County, where there is also a severe thunderstorm warning this evening. So again, if you are in Delaware County, Union County, the tornado warning will be expired in 5 minutes. That is no longer going to be the main focal point of this threat. The main threat still is going to be the strong damaging winds as this cell continues to kind of push off towards the east-northeast and makes its way into portions of Marion, Delaware, and Morrow County. So if you are in this area, be prepared for the winds to start picking up shortly. You're going to hear some heavy rainfall. You're going to hear the thunder outside, see the lightning as well as that continues to move north of Delaware County, north in Delaware County, I should say, and continues across the area. Now, we have a newly issued tornado warning also down towards the south. All right, let's go back to the cell in the Hocking Hills region here. Notice this warning has basically been extended a little further south right here. We are watching it down into Athens County at this point. This tornado warning, this cell right here that we're watching in the Hocking Hills has been extended. Nelsonville, you are now under that tornado warning. If you are in Nelsonville, you need to be in your safe spot. We've been talking about this. You notice the cells near Zaleski at 746, Star at 746 as well, Knox 753, and Nelsonville at 755 tonight. This also does appear to cut into the northern portion of Vinton County as well. Moving to the east, it's showing this cell moving off towards the east at about 48 miles per hour. We've been watching the rotation on this, and Liz, if we could put the velocity scan on, we're going to have to clear that lightning off for a second though, if we can, just to kind of give folks at home an idea. This is what we're looking at right here, just to the southeast of Laurelville by about 7 or 8 miles here along the Vinton-Hocking County line. That is that rotation we're watching. So the reason that the reason this tornado warning has been extended a little further to the south, this cell has been actually kind of dipping a little bit more to the east-southeast this evening and will continue to move into portions of northwestern Athens County. Nelsonville currently under that tornado warning. I believe that cell is showing up right now as, let's see here, that cell's moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. And again, that is going to be a cell that is very dangerous. It does look like we are showing debris showing up on radar as this cell is moving in towards this area. So again, this is a particularly dangerous cell that we are watching right now. You can see these different colors showing up right out ahead of this. If that is in fact debris, which we are picking up here, showing up out ahead of this, there would be a tornado on the ground. Again, very low visibility. We've got a lot of hilly terrain in this area. Lots of tall trees. It would be very difficult to see what is going on, as well as very heavy rainfall as this continues to push off towards the east. You can see what Liz is indicating right here, that shear rotation. If you could grab the shear path on there, Liz, and we'll watch and see kind of how that shows up. That's one of the features we could actually tell where we're starting to see a little bit of rotation in the path that it has been taking. And that cell is going to continue basically in the southern portions of Hocking County and continue. You can see it right here. Yeah. So as we zoom out, just zoom back out a little bit on this, and you'll see this green shading here. This basically is showing that there's little bits of rotation potentially showing up with this cell. This is the history over the last hour here, showing up from about Ross County near Chillicothe. And as you start to get into this red shading here and a little bit of this, the yellow shading near it, that's showing rotation in the strong to extreme categories. So we're starting to show possibility of a stronger tornado developing here in southern portions of Hocking County. Here Liz is showing where she's switched the radar site over right here. You can see where we've got a pretty strong cell showing up in that area, and that's going to continue to move across the northern portion of Vinton County and then moving into portions of southern Hocking County and also right into Athens County. So again, in this area, I cannot stress enough, you can see that notch right there showing up. This is the most dangerous cell that we've got in our backyards right now that we are going to watch very closely. This is going to continue to slide off towards the east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So if you're in Athens City, you're not technically under the tornado warning in Athens City right now. But again, this is a very dangerous cell. Nelsonville, you need to get to your safe spot. The Plains, all of you guys guys in this, western portions of Athens County need to be on alert because this is going to be a dangerous cell moving through the Hocking Hills south of Logan right now. That is the good news. It does appear for folks in Logan, this cell is sliding just to the south of you. Still, if you are in Logan, stay in your safe spot. Wait till we give you the all clear on this one because this cell is still dangerously close. Lots of lightning with it. You can see the radar is completely lit up across the southern half of Hocking County as this continues to push to the south and east at about 29 miles per hour. It's still showing the severe hail, pretty low probability of that, about penny to dime sized hail with this cell as it continues to push to the east. So Star, you're in the firing range in about 23 minutes at 7:53 tonight with that thunderstorm that does show rotation on radar right now. That is something we're watching very closely. Down to the south, you can see the rotation showing up here, the winds, the inbound and the outbound winds showing up with this. And so that's what we're looking for, this fairly large rotation showing up to the south and east of Laurelville right now. And that's going to continue to move across northern portions of Athens County. Again, as Liz is zoomed right here, you can see from Nelsonville towards the Plains and Athens, you are not under this tornado warning right now. But again, this is not far off. So you need to make that plan right now. Figure out where you're going to go to your safe spot this evening if you are down in this portion of Athens County. Over from Gloucester, I would say even for you, you're going to need to get to that safe spot as well because all of this cell, this very large cell, is going to continue to push into the northern half of Athens County after about 8 o'clock tonight. So again, southern Hocking County, northern Vinton County, this is the most dangerous cell that we've got in our area right now, a tornado-warned cell. This could be a very strong cell moving over the Hocking Hills State Park, moving off towards, it looks like just southeast of due east at about 40 miles per hour. So it is moving quick. And again, just, you know, you drive around on those roads down there, there's not a lot of straightaways that you could go 40, 50 miles an hour. What I'm trying to say is you're not outrunning this storm. So you need to get to that safe spot away from danger. If you have a basement in the locations down in southern Hocking County, northern Vinton, Athens County, get to that safe spot, a basement, safest spot, innermost room of the house, away from the western facing walls. That's where this cell is coming from your west. So you want to get to that innermost room, a closet, a bathroom, one that has as many walls between you and the outside of your home as possible. You don't want any windows between you. You don't want to be in a room that has windows near it because debris could be blowing in with that as well. I'm going to go back to Ben Gelber for a second. Ben, you got an update for us?
Yeah, Dave, several things. First of all, the National Weather Service is indicating in Hocking County an extremely dangerous situation. So that indicates a likely tornado near or on the ground. And we have really 3 cells that are all rotating. And I also pointed out, I'm going to start with the top in the upper right, because the very strong thunderstorm has a strong rotational component by Cumberland, Pleasant City. So that's heading toward Byesville and Pleasant City. That it would be, as I mentioned earlier, southwestern portions of Guernsey County and as well as Noble County. And Dave is mentioning down here. Let me come down into Hocking County. So we see the purple, that indicates a confirmed tornado. We're no longer, we're not radar indicated. And you can see as I pop the box up, tornado warning until 8 o'clock for a confirmed tornado in Hocking County. So we need to zoom in. Obviously you can see where the spin is. Let me put a tracker on here just to get you caught up. It looks like the storm will be near Star at about 7:55. So right here is the fairly intense rotation, and I'm going to take that off so you can see where you are in the region, since we already know where the rotation is. This section of Hocking County, so to the west of Star, let me clear some of these warnings out for you just for a moment. And this is a very intense storm now moving through Hocking County. Again, it's been being deemed a potentially dangerous situation because this has had a debris ball, in other words, a tornado on the ground. It is essentially west central Hocking County, so it's to the southwest of Logan, and this storm is going to continue to head east. Let me back out a bit so again you can see where we are. No longer warnings for Pickaway and Ross counties. We also have obviously a very strong thunderstorm with a tornado-warned storm approaching Pike County, and that storm will be moving east at about 45 miles per hour into western Pike County toward Peebles at 7:45. We have the dangerous storm, which has definitely been flagged by the National Weather Service for deep rotation, and maybe we can take a look at that by going to velocity mode. You can see where red and green are definitely strongly indicated right here. So that is still to the west of Star. Let's go back to our standard radar format where there's substantial rotation, but there has been an indication of debris. We can even see that sometimes where we see some of the brighter colors just to the east of the base of the arrow. So in here, so that was likely a tornado on the ground at one point here in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Again, to be clear, that's western Hocking County. That's passing to the south of the city of Logan, but clearly Nelsonville is in the corridor of the storm, as is Starr. Very strong thunderstorms also indicated to the north, moving out of Perry County, which is still under thunderstorm warning till 7:45, moving into Guernsey County and Noble County. Warnings now till about 8 o'clock. And just to, for comparison, you can see the weaker cells now in Delaware County that had been a tornado warned storm. Thunderstorm warning continues for another 25 minutes. Morrow County now under severe thunderstorm warning until 8 o'clock, along with Marion County until 8 o'clock, and Piketon and Pike County under severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15. Tornado warning, though, just to the west for Athens County. That storm is going to move into western Pike County shortly at 45 miles per hour. VTI 3.4 indicates potential for rotation is moderate. The stronger storm continues to be over Hocking County. It's becoming more enmeshed in a larger area of rain, what we call outflow, so that may help weaken the rotation a little bit. But either way, all these storms, Dave, have had potential for rotation. Let's go wider out. The red boxes are all the tornado warnings currently, now extending into Vinton County to the southeast. And it continues to be a very active night. Again, the threat for the Columbus area and areas west of Interstate 71 have decreased. We're still getting rain and thunder. Obviously, lightning and gusty winds always a concern, but the focus now is on the southeastern part of the state. Yeah, and Ben, that's the biggest threat right here. As Ben was just mentioning, we're still watching this cell very closely. Again, as I've got this zoomed right here, you notice we've got Starr right in the line. You're just a couple of moments away from this cell being right over your backyard and being a very dangerous cell. Moving just south of Logan, tons of lightning showing up with this. If you are in Nelsonville, you are currently under that tornado warned cell. If you are in Chansey, also towards the Plains and Athens, these are all going to be areas that we're going to continue to watch very closely for. I would say if you're anywhere down US 33 in Athens County, especially all the way to about Highway 50, you need to be prepared to get to your safe spot right now. This cell, this line right here is a 30-minute line, and that takes it right to the edge of this tornado warned box by 7. That will put it at 8:07 this evening. So if you are in the Plains, if you are in Chansey, if you're in Athens, you need to be ready and prepared to get to your safe location as soon as you can, because that is going to continue to be a very dangerous cell. We have a newly issued tornado warning, it looks like, as well. So Liz, if we can go back up to Delaware County for a minute here. This is a newly issued tornado warning. This does include the city of Delaware. So if you are in this area, if you are in Delaware County right now, Delaware, Lewis Center, over towards Galena, Sunbury. This is going to be a dangerous cell right here, moving towards the east-southeast. That looks like at about 30 to 25 miles per hour. So a little bit slower. This cell right here is showing rotation near the city of Delaware in Delaware County. You can see it just almost near where US 42 and State Route 36 meet in Delaware County, just to the east of downtown Delaware. And that's going to continue to travel the northern portion of Alum Creek and the Alum Creek State Park right down US 36, eventually near the Outlet Mall exit right there, and then over towards Sunbury and Galena. So if you are in this area in Delaware County, in the eastern portions of Delaware County, from Delaware City through Lewis Center, or just in the northern part of Lewis Center, over towards Galena, Sunbury, and then eventually backing in towards portions right by the Licking County line, you are now under a tornado warning. This tornado warned cell continues this evening until 8:15 for Delaware County. The storm moving off towards the east at about 25 miles per hour. Again, it is right near where US 42 and US 36 meet, just to the east of downtown Delaware. You can see the rotation showing up right now in this location, and it will continue to travel right down US 36 near Sunbury. So this was an area previously that was under a severe thunderstorm warning, now under a tornado warning at this time. So again, if you are in these locations, you need to get to your safe spot immediately. If we could zoom back out right now, we are still watching that tornado warned cell down towards the south. That is going to be a very dangerous cell. In fact, the most dangerous cell that we have been watching down to the south in Hocking County along the Vinton County line.
That is going to continue to move towards Athens County at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So again, we mentioned if you are near Star, this is going to be a dangerous cell. That will continue to move towards Nelsonville. Also, you can see a Star 748. That's basically right about now. Nelsonville just at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. VTI, that has gone down a little bit. That was one of the indications. We're starting to see some of that rain pushing out ahead of this cell. May have still some small hail associated with it and some very gusty winds. But again, tornado warned cell. We have had indications earlier just a little while ago of some debris showing up with this cell as it moved through the Hocking Hills. So would not be surprised if that continues as it moves towards Athens County. So if you are in Nelsonville, Star, Gloucester, Chansey, the Plains, Athens, you need to get to your safe spot immediately. Ben, also, we are watching that cell down towards the south. You have anything new on that cell moving towards Pike County this evening?
Right now, that storm is just coming into western Pike County, Dave. And you can see as we go down the line, let's zoom in here and take a closer look. It is currently a thunderstorm warning for Pike County until 8:15. The tornado warning is just to the west in Adams County. And also that storm is working its way east. It doesn't appear to have as strong a rotation. The same for the storm in Chillicothe. A thunderstorm warning for Ross County until 8 o'clock. We have the tornado warning going up into Vinton County. And the dangerous storm in Hocking County, that warning is for another 20 minutes or so. Here's the tracker on that. Star at 7:50, Nelsonville at 8:03. Thunderstorm warning indicated for portions of Guernsey County as well, and Muskingum County. And of course, most recently, the newly issued tornado warning for Delaware County. So I want to come in on this one. Dave, it's the southern portion of the line that has exhibited some rotation. So it's essentially down here. The bottom portion of the line segment has had rotation. So I put the tracker on. That would take that toward Sunbury. Let's put on a new tracker because the storms are moving east at about 30 miles per hour. East-southeast toward Berkshire at 7:49 and Sunbury at 7:56. So that's a tornado-warned storm. Now, if we look for rotation, we can certainly see it very clearly showing up here to the north and west of Sunbury. It's broad, and I'll help you out here. Not where the red and green are separate. There's a small area that continues to exhibit some rotation, which is why what had been a thunderstorm warning back up to a tornado warning for Delaware County until 8:15. So that would be in the vicinity of Hogback Road, Alum Creek, so state routes 36 and 37. Again, red and green coming together a little more tightly there and to the north and west of Sunbury, an area that we're continuing to watch. So the core of the storm, a couple of areas will eventually get towards Centerburg at about 8:08. Let's continue to track the rotating part of the storm. Again, the tornado warning until 8:15 for Delaware County. So that's going in this direction toward Berkshire and Sunbury at about 7:49, Sunbury about 7:55. Now, we don't know if the storm will continue to rotate at that time. The rotation, fortunately, from what I understand, is not as strong as it has been. The strongly rotating storm, you can see how red and green are wrapped up. We kept talking about Star and Hocking County, south of Logan and approaching Nelsonville. See how much tighter the red and green are. So this continues to remain a tornado-warned storm for Hocking County and Athens County until 8 o'clock. So that would take the storm over toward Nelsonville. Again, the tracker here. Let me move things around a little bit so you can get a better view. Star at 7:48, Nelsonville at 8:02, Chansey at 8:10, and then Murray City, east-northeast at 33 miles per hour.
Hey, Ben. We've got did you see the newly issued tornado warning as well for our far eastern counties?
Yes, and that was the storm, right, Dave, and that's exactly the storm we had been talking about in Guernsey County.
Yeah, so Liz, if we could switch over to the Pittsburgh radar for a second here, the PBC radar, and show you this cell. This is a newly issued tornado warning, and if we could zoom in, maybe take the lightning off for just a second, because the lightning is very distracting showing up on this cell. You notice this south of Cambridge right here. This is near the Noble County line, so north of Caldwell, south of Cambridge. You notice this dark shading here. If we could zoom in a little bit closer, put the storm tracker on here, Liz. This would be off towards the south and west of Byesville. So if you are in Byesville right now, Pleasant City, 7:55, Byesville until 8:02 this evening, or at 8:02 this evening, Sedicaville at 8:04, and Lower City at 8:08 this evening. Again, a newly issued tornado warning. This cell is moving to the northeast at about 31 miles per hour, showing a pretty good likelihood of seeing some large hail, and it's showing hail hail of golf ball sized or larger potentially with this. I would say between about ping pong ball to golf ball sized hail with this cell as it continues. You can see that bright shade here. Again, I should note this is also a little bit more elevated because the radar site over in Pittsburgh here, so we're a little bit distance away. But again, I would say this would translate to about ping pong to golf ball sized hail potentially just south of Cambridge, moving towards right into Pleasant City. So I know things are not great right now in Pleasant City near Guernsey, Noble counties north of Bell Valley. They are going to continue to go downhill. Pleasant City, Byesville, over towards Senecaville Lake, over in that area. We're going to continue to see this strong thunderstorm, tornado-warned thunderstorm, moving through the southern portion of Guernsey County and into Noble County as well. So that is a newly issued tornado warning that we have in that area. That will continue this evening as that cell moves off towards the east at about 30 miles per hour. It was about 7 miles northwest of Caldwell at this time. Tornado warning down, if we can move away from that one for a second and switch back to the ILN radar, you will notice that we are continuing with the tornado warning that we've got in Athens County as well. So we can switch radar sites and watch this cell right here. You notice the purple shading in Hocking County here. This is because we have had a debris signature showing up, or debris showing up on radar, meaning items that we may own, trees, stuff like that, parts of houses, things, debris showing up in the clouds that the radar had been picking up earlier. A great indication that there may have been a tornado on the ground hitting this stuff if we do in fact have that debris up in the clouds. So that's why we had the purple shading for that tornado warning with a confirmed tornado. You notice it moving across Star right now. As far as the rotation goes, Liz, if we can look in on that a little bit, you notice it's kind of broadened out a little bit in this area just south of Star into northern Vinton County. The point I've been making for a while here, though, is just off towards the east, Chauncey, over towards the plains, south of Gloucester, Jacksonville, down towards Athens, not technically under that severe or that tornado warning as of this moment. But again, this is going to be a dangerous cell as it moves into Athens County. It has already been a dangerous cell moving across, showing some large rotation with it, moving across the Hocking Hills region near Lake Hope State Park. And still, as Liz is indicating right here, showing anywhere from about ½ to 1 inch diameter hail just south of Star into northern Vinton County with this cell as it continues to move off towards the east at about 30 miles per hour. So again, as we zoom back out, I want to go back and recap what we are watching this evening. We are at the top, or we are getting close to the top of the hour, about 10 minutes, 12 minutes away from 8 o'clock this evening. And you notice on our map, we have got multiple tornado warnings, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. If you're watching at home, you're watching online right now. Orange boxes flashing, those are all severe thunderstorm warnings. Most of them for winds up to 60 miles per hour, quarter-sized hail. Counties that are in the red, these are tornado warnings. The purple actually is ones that we have seen a confirmed tornado either by debris or by a confirmation of the actual tornado on the ground. That is the only location as of right now, is that cell that's just south of Logan near Star moving into Athens County. So we're going to continue to watch that very closely. I want to go back to this storm up in Delaware County for a minute here, if we could, Liz, because we've got an additional tornado warning that is in effect for Delaware County, and we've been watching this cell. This was the same area that had the tornado warning earlier for Union County moving towards Delaware. That is now continuing to move across Alum Creek State Park, the northern part of the lake near Hogback Reserve, the county preserve up there, crossing I-71 right now. Up in the booth, if we could try to get the ODOT camera in that area, US 36 and 71, and see what it looks like in that area. But you notice some very heavy rainfall showing up in this area right near US 36, 37, and I-71 to the north in Delaware County, where we have that tornado warning. If we could show the rotation here, Liz, and see if we're still watching. Yeah, you see that rotation is actually starting to lift a little bit to the north of where the Outland Mall is. If you're familiar with that, in the north side of town, not the one in Jeffersonville, but the one at the Sunbury exit, that's where that rotation is. And right behind me here, you can see in the back and the right side of your screen, that is our camera, the ODOT camera that's showing up at 71 and 36, 37. That's right here. And you can see visibility very low. That's another thing that's going to make this very difficult. You're not going to be able to see what is coming your way, not only with this cell, So if you're in Centerburg, if you're along Highway 61 north of Sunbury heading into Marengo, you are not going to be able to see the severe weather coming your way. You're just going to see this wall of water, which you can see right behind me here on the camera. That's what you're going to be noticing as this cell continues to move across your area. So tornado warning continues for Delaware County until 8:15. Does include Sunbury, Galena right now, and heading close to Centerburg. Delaware City, you are now out of this cell. This cell has moved away from Delaware City. It's basically moved to the east of Alum Creek State Park and the lake itself. It has moved to the east of that and is continuing to cross I-71. As we zoom back out, I want to show you again, we are watching a couple of other tornado warned cells that we're watching very closely this evening. Most of them are to the east and southeast. The two strongest ones we've been watching were this one down to the south in Hocking County and also moving into northern Vinton County and Athens County. It does appear, and if we can look at the rotation on this, the rotation had been kind of brushing out just a little bit here. You notice that south of Star, a little bit of that rotation still showing up with this tornado warned cell, and that's going to continue to make its way into Athens County just south of Nelsonville. I know if you're in Nelsonville right now, you are under that tornado warning. This cell is going to continue to move towards Chansey at 8:12 tonight, Athens at 8:15, near Jacksonville at 8:18 tonight. And the core of this, if we take it right off towards the east, does make its way right towards a more populated area near Athens. So again, that is going to be of concern if this thing does in fact hold together. This has been a very strong looking thunderstorm as it rolled across the Hocking Hills region in the last hour or so and had shown indications of debris with it as it continued to push off towards the east. The other thing that I'm watching very closely, and I know Ben Gelber, meteorologist Ben Gelber, has been watching as well, is that tornado warned cell that we have been having off towards the east. That one has been another very dangerous cell, and that one, Ben, also just a little while ago showed some possibility of some very large hail with that cell too. Yeah, Dave, it did. Let's start with the wide view, and you can kind of get to see the structure of these storms. And notice everything's on the outer edge of this low pressure area that's spinning its way, providing the rotation for severe weather. Starting, of course, with the tornado warning in Delaware County, just to review, at 8:15, with thunderstorm warnings in Morrow and Knox counties till 8 and 8:45. And Dave just referred to, and we talked about the storm coming out of Perry into Cambridge and Guernsey County. At that time, it was a thunderstorm warning, but it had a definite strong rotation. And sure enough, the National Weather Service, in this case out of Charleston and also Pittsburgh, going the route of a tornado warning for Noble and Athens counties, thunderstorm warning for the remainder of Guernsey County. But this storm is very potent. You can see this is definitely hail. Let me take a look in terms of color. You can see the green and red coming together near Summerfield, south of Pleasant City, and to the north of Caldwell. So we have very clear and moderate rotation. So this is a portion of the storm that's rotating. Let's go back to radar as you're used to seeing it. We also have quite a bit of hail. So this hail core, where you see in black, let me change that for you and go to another mode. There is an indication of hail, easily golf ball size and larger. In fact, 2 3/4 inch hail that may be not quite that large when it hits the ground, but just that would be close to tennis ball size hail in Guernsey County. See, the radar's picking up hail that could reach 3 inches in diameter, which is about as large as we ever see. We're also picking up some very strong wind shear right here, some very strong winds on the south edges of that storm. So again, that's all in Guernsey and northern Morgan counties. That's not the only tornado warning, of course. The other to the south is in Athens County until 8 o'clock, and the purple would indicate hail. But let's go in a little tighter. Let's go back to radars. You're used to seeing it, and you can see the storm that was over Star now moving into the plains. Let me slide that down. Jacksonville, Athens, 8:15, and Chansey. So that's the core of the storm. And you can see on the back edge, there are some red and green colors to the east of Star. So we continue to have at least broad rotation going on back here in the back edge of the storm. That's why the tornado warning continues until 8:15 for portions of Athens County as well as Vinton County. So we're kind of in a rural area here, so let me clear that for you and take off some of the track markers so you can get a better view. Go back to radar.
from a standpoint of reflectivity, the storm approaching the plains and Chansey, but the back edge is where the rotation is with this particular storm. Now down to the south, and Dave and I have been watching a tornado-warned storm coming out of Athens County. That warrants a thunderstorm warning for Pike County, but not rotating. Up to the north, thunderstorm warning for Ross County. We can put a tracker on that as well, and you can see that that storm is heading off to the east at about 35 miles per hour. So that's another storm. Now the tornado warned storm, which has had a confirmed tornado in western Hocking County, that warning goes till 8 o'clock, is the one that is now moving toward Nelsonville. So that remains a dangerous storm. Chansey at 8:10, Athens at 8:12, and off to the northeast of McConnellsville. Athens County now till 8:30, our director tells us, and you can see so we'll come back down and look at that. So, yep, there it is. So this is the extension of the same storm that we've been tracking here rather closely. Now moving into western Athens County, Chansey again 8:08, Athens City at about 8:11. So that is the storm that had produced a tornado in western Hocking County. That's moving off to the east. And then we have a strong storm east of Chillicothe. That will head into Vinton County here shortly. Again, let's back up so you can see the whole view, everything lining out. And we don't want to lose track of the tornado warning in Delaware County until 8:15. That is strongest now to the east of Sunbury. So we want to zoom in on that. Between Sunbury and Centerburg along 3637. Let's see if we see any sign of rotation. The red and green are no longer tightly coupled, so the storm is starting to widen out a little bit, but that's still an indication of a pretty strong storm. So Dave, up and down this line from west of Mount Vernon, but in particular east of Somerset now, and heading over toward Blue Rock, coming out of Muskingum County, and then over into Cambridge and southern Guernsey and northern Morgan counties, rotating thunderstorms. And again, just to reiterate, the Athens County tornado warning has now been extended till 8:30. It had been till 8:15, east at 38 miles per hour. VTI of 2.8, which is moderate, but certainly an indication of moderate rotation that persists on the western edge, Dave, now just getting ready to come into Athens County.
Yeah, and we've been warning on this cell for a while now, telling folks to be prepared in this area because this thing still is, I mean, it's at minimum a very large thunderstorm with frequent lightning showing up with it. We've had indications on and off of hail with this thunderstorm, and as Ben just mentioned, has had a history of producing. We've had the debris signature showing up on radar as well. So this has been a very dangerous cell as that moves into Athens County. So again, if you are in this area right now, if you're watching at home, watching on your phone, watching online, you may notice a lot of these flashing colors showing up right now on here. The red boxes, the tornado warning boxes. The purple is an extremely dangerous because that is a tornado warning cell that we have seen an actual observed tornado on. So that is this cell that we are looking at right here. It is moving just south of Chansey near the plains right now along 33. Again, this area very familiar. If you're driving along 33, you basically can't see anything to the west along Highway 33 in spots. Tall trees, elevation changes. This thing's going to come right over some of those hills and it's going to be on you. So if you're in Chansey, if you're in the plains, if you're in Athens, tornado warning, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Lowest point of your house, basement, innermost room of the house. If you don't have a basement, a closet, a bathroom, something that does not have outside walls and especially outside windows facing to the west. You do not want any, you don't want to be in a room that has windows. If you're in a bedroom that has windows facing west, no good. You want to be in that closet, inside of the hallway or a bathroom, away from the outside of the house, as this is going to come over the hills and it is going to come right across US 33. Ben mentioned 35 to 40 mile an hour winds. You notice this right just to the north of Lake Hope State Park, now making its way into Athens County, about 6 or 7 miles north of Albany at this time. Albany, you're not under the tornado warning, but that strong cell is going to continue to your north. You notice this cell continuing to move over towards Chansey, the plains, over towards Athens, right along Highway 33 here. Couple of issues. You're not getting past, you're not driving away from this cell. Roads are not going to be in great shape. We showed you that picture earlier from up in Delaware County. Just a deluge of rain coming down with these as well. So you're going to have very low visibility, frequent lightning, gusty winds, and on top of that, you may have some ponding on some of those roadways as well. So you need to be at that safe spot right now. You notice the storm from about Nelsonville down towards the south, making its way into Athens County. Liz pointing out right here, still the potential of some small hail with this. The tracker takes it towards Chansey. in about the next 10 minutes, and in Athens at 8:13 tonight. Notice the hail showing up at 100%, hail size up to about quarter-sized hail. And I can tell you that is still very large hail. That is damaging hail and dangerous if you are outside or near a window. That's another reason we tell you to stay away from windows, especially those facing west. You get that wind coming out of the west, blowing in quarter-sized hail that could potentially break windows or do damage to the sides of the house. That's why it's not safe to stay in those locations. As we zoom back out, I want to switch over radar sites and go back to the storm that we had been watching up in Guernsey County as well, because that was the other cell, as Ben was talking about and tracking along with Liz just a few minutes ago. This thing has had a history of producing some, or on radar at least, showing some indications of some very large hail with this cell. It does appear that tornado warning has been canceled for this cell, which is good news. However, again, do not let your guard down if you are in these locations in Guernsey, Noble, Muskingum counties. Do not let your guard down. We're going to watch this as this moves near Senecaville right now. That's moving into the eastern portions of Guernsey County along Highway 22. Could have some still very large hail with this. This is still a severe thunderstorm warned cell, and that will continue, I believe, until 8:15. If we can click on the warning here for a second, Liz, thank you. I believe this severe thunderstorm warning will extend until 8:30 tonight for this area. Noble County is actually until 8:15, so about the next 15 minutes or so, as this continues to move off towards the east right now at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. But you can see two distinct areas, one in northern Noble County, north of Caldwell. This is going to be one that has some hail with it. If you're near Moorefield, about 8:29 this evening for that. You notice the hail size showing up at about penny to nickel size hail upwards of that with this cell, and then down to the south north of Caldwell, this cell moving away towards Quaker City at about 8:24. Could have some larger hail. Look at this hail size showing up here. I would expect at least ping pong possible to golf ball sized hail with that cell. Again, that's why we have the severe thunderstorm warning in this area. So as we are looking at 8 o'clock, the top of the hour right now, I do want to zoom out. We are tracking multiple severe thunderstorm warnings across our area. So if you are tuning in right now, not expecting to see us covering the weather, that is, we're covering it, continuing our coverage tonight on this weather alert day, because we have strong and severe thunderstorms, some of which have had a history of producing tornadoes in the western and southern portions of the state. That particular cell that we are watching very closely is this one down and moving into Athens County at this time. We are not going to take our eyes off of this, because this has been a dangerous cell as it has been moving through the Hocking Hills and now is going to continue to move across Athens County. Notice this line right here. This line is a half-hour track that will take it basically almost all the way out of Athens County by about 8:30 tonight. So again, we have the tornado warning extending for Athens County until 8:30. Storm moving to the east at 40 miles per hour, up to quarter-sized hail. A lot of lightning showing up with this. It's moving right now just south of Nelsonville and south of Chansey near the plains. It's almost into Athens. You've got about 4 minutes until it is into Athens at this time, and this is a dangerous cell. Now, we've been watching earlier this evening. We did have indications of tornadic debris showing up inside of this from the radar, inside of the clouds showing up. So an indication that we had a tornado on the ground at one time with this. That's continuing to the winds are starting to pick up and continuing to move just north of Albany along Highway 50 here, north of the airport, and then making its way over towards Athens and near OU's campus over near where 50 and US 33 meet right here. So again, on radar, this is going to be the area that we're going to start to see the rains really picking up, winds starting to pick up also in Athens this evening, and this is going to be a very dangerous cell with the potential of seeing tornadic activity. So again, if you are in Athens, in the city of Athens, in Athens County, you need to be in your safe spot right now. If you are down the line from this cell near Coolville, near Guysville, you need to be on alert as well. This is a quick mover, as Liz has got tracked right here east at 40 miles per hour. So that's going to take it clear across the county pretty much in about the next half hour or so, and that's going to kind of make its way towards Guysville and Coolville before about 8:30 tonight and right across Athens. Dangerous cell. We've been watching this moving across the Hocking Hills region. Now, as we zoom back out here in the city, we've been watching. We've had some scattered showers, thunderstorms. We have not had a severe thunderstorm warning in a while here in Columbus itself, but we've had a couple to the north. You notice we've got a bunch down US 33 here. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning also in effect. If we can check this one in Knox County, County, and it looks like we just have a newly issued one also for Licking County as well. If we could track that one for the northern portion of Licking County. Ben, do you have any new information on these two, the one in Knox County and Licking County here?
Yeah, we have a severe thunderstorm warning now till 9 o'clock. For Licking County, and that thunderstorm warning also includes a portion of Knox County. So these were the storms that were tornado warned to the west in Union County, thunderstorm warnings back to tornado warning near Sunbury. We do have a tree down along State Route 37 in Delaware County. That's the only damage we have. And now we've added thunderstorm warnings for Knox until 8:45, to Licking until 9 o'clock. So that's the same line. It has weakened a little bit. In other words, we're not seeing rotation, but it's pretty strong. Heavy rain and strong winds, damaging winds can always bring down a tree or tree limb, because we've seen that in Delaware County, and that's always a danger. Whether you're walking or driving, you need to be indoors. Fredericktown approaching Mount Vernon and Centerburg. Now, obviously, you can see Columbus seeing just some rain coming into Dublin, some rain in Buckeye Lake. A lot of these were thunderstorm warnings, and they are weakening to the west, including the storm out by Chillicothe, which is moving east into Vinton County. But the storm that remains the strongest, and there are two in particular, this is a tornado warned storm as we get down into Athens County until 8:30. So we want to see where is the rotation. It continues to be toward the back edge. But while the rotation is not particularly strong, what we do look for is right here. It would be essentially between the Plains and Athens. There's a little bit of a red-green turn, in other words, air or wind moving in two different directions relative to radar, green away or toward radar, and red toward away from radar. Either way, that indicates some spin approaching the plains. Now, this storm already has produced a tornado in western Hocking County, and so we know it is a dangerous storm. The other storm, which has had a tornado warning, a thunderstorm warning now, has moved past Cambridge and to the north of McConnellsville, still indicating some pretty strong wind and also hail potential with the storm as it works its way to the east. And you can see winds quite strong in southeastern portions of Guernsey County and also down into Muskingum County. So this entire eastern flank, which is now south and east of Columbus. And let me switch back to radar reflectivity. You can see the bright colors from Cambridge to just north of McConnellsville, down to Chillicothe and Portsmouth. But this remains a tornado warned storm for Athens. So that would include Ohio University. Of course, my son attended there, and we know how hilly it is. You don't have a good view, and you don't want to be out looking for this storm. You want to be in your safe place in the city of Athens, Plains, and Chansey. Basement or lowest floor, away from outer walls and windows. Place as much space between you and the outer walls as you can. Again, first floor. If you don't have a basement, you do need to be in your safe space or place in Athens County. And as Dave mentioned, the 30-minute warning will take us to 8:30 to the eastern portion of Athens County. Getting lots of reports of hail. You can see up by the plains. As I'm zooming in, this is the most potent portion of the storm. Let me switch back and see if I can find it. Yeah, and there still is some weak rotation right in the center there, just over Athens and to the west. Indication at least that the atmosphere is still spinning just a bit. And so these can intensify and weaken in short periods of time or cycle. But it looks like the strongest portion of the storm, based on the hail core, would be over the southeastern portion of the city. So we can zoom in, and this is the most dangerous part of the storm, just to the west of the hail core. And you saw that suggestion of rotation near Elliotteville. So this is to the west of US 33. And again, the city of Athens under a tornado warning, as is virtually the entire county. The tornado warning will not be continued in western Hocking County, if you're wondering, or eastern Hocking County rather. But for Athens, the long line of thunderstorms with lots of squiggles in it south of Chillicothe, indicating some potential for some very strong winds. You can see this bowing line here. That's pushing east, so some strong winds indicated for eastern and southeastern portions of Pike County. But the northern flank of these storms, that would be up toward Cambridge and now east of Cambridge, where we're getting reports of hail. Just to the east of Caldwell, that's Morgan County, and then extending down to the tornado warned storm in Athens County are the strongest we have. I'm going to back this out before and Dave can pick up where we are, but you can see also the northern sections from Mount Vernon to Licking County under thunderstorm warnings until 8:45 and 9 o'clock. Not as strong, but still the potential for wind gusts to 50 miles per hour. So a long line of very active thunderstorms, Dave. The next hour will be critical, and then I think most of this action will have moved off to the east.
Yeah, and again, like as you mentioned, that biggest cell that we're watching is that one down to the south right now in Athens County. Not that we're not watching all of these cells, because as you've noticed, if you've been watching with us for the last hour or so, we've had some of these cells pulsing up, like the one in Delaware County that's now moving into Athens or into Licking County. But again, this cell right here you're watching from Chauncey over towards the plains down towards Athens along US 33 here, moving to the east. It is moving rapidly to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Our tornado index with that still fairly impressive at about a 4.1. So it is showing the possibility of some decent rotation with that. But again, every frame that comes in, you notice how fast this is moving off towards the east. So that things are going to start to deteriorate if you're down Highway 50 heading over towards Coolville at about 8:35. Liz is zooming in right here, and this is just to the east now of OU's campus, where we've got this rotation showing up here on radar. We look for this where the greens and the reds are very tightly packed together. We look for that couplet where they're kind of matched together, and we can see where that rotation is showing up. So again, if you are near Guysville, Coolville, this is going to continue to move as it's crossing US 33 down Highway 50 into Athens County, the far eastern Athens County. Again, hilly through here. Roads are going to be covered with water. Heavy rain is falling in this area. Also the possibility, as Liz is bringing up here, of some hail showing up with this, about nickel-sized hail. We've had a couple of reports of that already. I want to zoom back out for a second. One of the tools we can look at as well with this is our shear product. We can see where we've had winds showing some large rotation or some weak rotation showing up. The weak generally showing up in the green here, and the more strong rotation, like you can see north of Lake Hope State Park, south of Star, and then moving into Athens County. You can see it kind of turning right here into Athens, and the rotation tracker here showing a little bit weaker rotation showing up as it moved right across 33 and 50, but again is going to continue basically down and just south of US 50, almost paralleling it as it moves through Athens County towards Guysville and eventually down near Coolville as well. Coolville not technically under that tornado warning, but again, if you are anywhere in eastern portions of Athens County, you need to be in that safe spot right now as well, as this is going to continue to be one of our more dangerous cells that we are watching in our area this evening. Now, again, we are at about 10 minutes past 8 o'clock this evening. We are continuing to watch as we've had several severe thunderstorm warned cells across our area, this being our main tornado warned cell. I do want to zoom out though and give everyone a quick example of what we are watching outside. And if you are here in the city of Columbus right now, you may be tuning in, noticing not too bad of weather as we've got a couple of showers and some thunderstorms just to the north of Columbus right now. But the bulk of the activity, if we could switch back over to the Wilmington radar here, you can get a little bit better view of some of these thunderstorms that are still coming in. This is going to be the back edge that we're going to be watching along I-75. So we've still got some thunderstorms off towards our immediate west that are making their way into portions of Logan County right now, Clark and Champaign counties, and these are moving generally off towards the east-southeast at about 43 miles per hour. So those are moving pretty quickly to the east-southeast and could have the potential of a little bit of hail with those as well. So we are not done with that chance of showers and thunderstorms this evening once this tornado threat goes away down into Athens County. You also notice we've got severe thunderstorm warnings in Knox County, northern Licking counties this evening for this line of cells. This has been the line of cells that did have a history earlier of some rotation showing up on radar. So again, if you are near Centerburg right now, near Utica, over towards Mount Vernon, Danville, Howard, you need to be aware of this cell as it continues to move across Knox County and northern Licking County. That could particularly be a strong to dangerous cell as well as that continues to move across the county. That is going to be a cell that we'll be watching moving into Coshocton County as well. I just got an indication the severe thunderstorm warnings down in Hocking and Ross counties, those have been expired. So that's flashing box down here. That has been expired as that's starting to move into portions of Vinton County, again into Vinton County and down into Jackson County. But notice still some strong thunderstorms extending from Logan back towards Laurelville. Here in the city, we've got some showers and thunderstorms about to come back into the city as well. Non-severe thunderstorms as of right now. And then to the east, we're still watching these very strong thunderstorms with the potential of some fairly large hail moving into the eastern portions of Guernsey and Noble counties. And those will continue to exit our area and eventually move over over into the panhandle of West Virginia and then move over into far western portions of Pennsylvania after about 9 o'clock tonight and exit out of our area. So we are watching a lot of different things. The strongest cell locally right now is down into Athens County. This cell had a history of showing debris showing up on radar about an hour and 20 minutes ago across southern portions of Hocking County, northern Vinton County. So again, this is going to be a dangerous cell moving away from Athens. We've got additional thunderstorms right behind it starting to move in from the west right now in Athens. So you're going to get a little bit of a break, and then more rain and thunderstorms will move through. And again, we've got stronger thunderstorms off towards the west. So the tornado warning for Athens County still extends until 8:30 tonight as we are continuing to watch this cell moving through Athens County this evening and moving off towards the east at a pretty rapid clip at about 40 miles per hour. Still has the potential of producing some large hail, frequent lightning with it as it continues to push off towards the east. Now, I'm getting an indication. We've got some pictures showing up right now. The location of this is upstairs in the booth. Where is this camera at? Okay, this is just north of Athens near the plains. Look at this area, and you can see this camera right here. So this camera is right in about this area right here near the plains. And you can see this is actually where we're getting that little bit of drying showing up right now. So the camera that's right behind me on your screen, you can see it's got rain droplets all over the ponding on the roads. That's US 33 right there. We're about to see another line of rain showers and thunderstorms. In fact, you can kind of see it off in the distance on that camera behind me there where the visibility is starting to drop once again. The other thing we'll have to look for is some fog in some of these areas later this evening as well. So it's going to make travel difficult in this area as we continue to see these thunderstorms moving across. The biggest threat now in Athens County is moving away from the city of Athens and moving towards Guysville. So if you have friends, family in that area, you want to make sure that if maybe they don't have contact or they're not watching right now, give them a holler, give them a text message, just let them know they need to get to that safe spot right now because this cell is going to continue to move over towards Guysville and eventually move to the far eastern portion of Athens County, just north of Coolville as well. So this is going to be a cell that we'll be watching for the next few minutes. Again, tornado warning extends for about the next 15 minutes until 8:30 tonight. You can still see that rotation, a little bit weaker rotation showing up just south of Highway 50, almost equidistant from Athens at Guysville right now, so in the middle of both. And that's going to continue to travel right down Highway 50, not exactly on the road, but along a parallel line basically towards Guysville with that rotation. A lot of lightning showing up with that and could have a little bit of small hail showing up as well. You notice the camera behind me getting a little bit lower visibility as the rain is starting to pick up once again down into Athens County. So want to zoom back out for a minute, show you guys what we are watching on radar. Again, 8:16 this evening. It has been an active last hour and a half to hour and almost 2 hours across most of central and southern Ohio. Now into eastern Ohio is where we are seeing our strongest to severe storms. We've still got a couple of strong storms to the north right now. You notice this one in Knox County, moving into Licking County. This is going to be another cell. And you notice it's kind of, this line is almost filling in right now from near Johnstown over towards Westerville, near Hoover Reservoir, to the north side of town, north outer belt near Worthington, and then back towards Dublin. Then we're starting to see that line filling in a little bit. This is a non-severe part of this line, but again, it's something we're watching.
Yeah, Dave, good news. The National Weather Service in Charleston is canceling the tornado warning for Athens and Vinton counties.
Okay, that is very good news this evening. So again, this cell, and we're going to go back to this cell for a minute. This cell down here in Athens and Vinton County, as Ben was just mentioning, this cell no longer has a tornado warning. If you are in this area, Guysville, just off towards the east of Athens, Coolville, I still want you to take caution until this cell passes. In fact, you've got another line behind you from Logan down through the Hocking Hills into Vinton County of some strong thunderstorms. These are still severe thunderstorm warned cells until 9 o'clock tonight. So best advice would be to stay away from those outside windows. If you've had a little bit of damage, you heard some things outside not too long ago, stay indoors for a period because you do not want to head back outside with additional showers and thunderstorms moving into our area. We are going to start to conclude coverage here, but again, as I zoom back out, we are watching additional strong thunderstorms moving out of our area to the east of I-77 out of Guernsey and Noble counties. We still have active severe thunderstorm warnings for Knox and Licking counties. If you are in the eastern portions of Knox and Licking counties and also into Coshocton County, you need to be aware that these could be some strong thunderstorms with gusty winds moving into your backyard. We will continue to do updates on air and online as necessary throughout the rest of the evening. Please be safe.